How's it going? I'm Seth, founder of Disc Golf Strong. I'm really excited to bring you video 4 of 5 in a series that's all about preparing your body physically for the disc golf season. So that's why I partnered up with Dynamic Disc and the Disc Golf Answer Man Show, because we know how important it is to you to play strong, healthy, injury-resistant disc golf this entire season. You want to play disc golf as much as you want and for as long as you want, and that's what we hope to accomplish with this series. So in the first video, I talked about mobility in the upper back and in the hips. Second video, I talked about stability in the joints, strength in the joints of the shoulders and the hips. Third video was all about core strength. Now we're going to talk about strength in the muscles, specifically in the quads, so the front of your legs, and your glutes back here, okay? So if you haven't seen those other videos, make sure you go back and check those out. So in the disc golf throw, when I'm coming through, okay, I'm driving off and you're driving off this back leg, right, in order to generate power to bring our body around and throw that disc down the field, right? If you look at any technique video or you feel it yourself, you know that you're not trying to bend forward with your upper body, you are driving with that lower body. Now, there's a Newton's law that says for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. What that means in disc golf is the harder I can push down into that ground, the harder the ground's gonna push back at me. So if I just push a little bit, I'm not gonna be able to get a lot of force generated. But if I push hard, the ground force, the ground reaction force we call it, is gonna be huge. And when I develop all that force, then it's gonna come through my upper body, my torso, my stiff torso, through the upper body and into the disc. So the more power we can generate, the better for us, okay? When you're pushing down, you're using the muscles here and here. So the first one we're gonna talk about, the first exercise, is all about the quads. Now you're gonna get a little glute strength in this, but it's mostly gonna be the front of the legs, and that's the squat. Now a lot of you have probably done a squat before, you've at least seen a squat. It looks like this, down and up, okay? So this is just the body weight squat. This is a great place to start. Now when I squat, what I'm thinking about are a few key things. First is the legs. If I'm too wide with my feet and my legs, I'm not gonna be able to squat really deep. If I'm too narrow, again, I'm not gonna be able to squat to a depth that I want. I need to find the position, the width for me, that allows me to get the lowest in the best position. So we all have different shaped hips, okay? So we're not gonna all be the same with our width. So you just play around with the width and find what feels the most comfortable for you and what gets you the lowest. Now, I get nice and tall, make the shoulders point forward, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push my knees out gently away from each other and squat down, and then push my feet down on the ground and stand back up. Now with the knees, a lot of times people will hear, oh, squats are bad for your knees. Not if you do them correctly. A lot of times people will squat by going forward. They start by bending their knees forward like that. That is going to put a lot of force into your knees that you don't want, and that is definitely going to make sure your knees are not feeling good. So we want to start by pushing our hips back slightly, and then we let our knees kind of bend naturally as we come down, and then stand back up. I'll show you that again. Sit back, down, stand back up. Now you'll notice my arms came out. I like to do that to make sure that the shoulders stay up nice and tall and the back stays nice and flat. Because if I come down and I bend like that, we don't want that, okay? We want to stay nice and tall. I can look forward and up, down and up, pushing my feet down to stand up. Now, if you want, you can always take something like a box here or a chair to give you some depth control. So either give you a target to shoot for, or if you're new to squatting, or if you don't feel comfortable getting super low, you can use a chair or a box to help you give you that depth. So I come down and stand back up. Now I've got something to shoot for, okay? If you want to make the squat a little harder and you're doing body weight squats, you can go down and hold for about 2 to 3 seconds at the bottom. We call that a pause squat. So 1, 2, 3, up. Again, 1, 2, 3, up. Last variation I'm going to give you is what we call 1 1/4 squat. So that's down, up, up. So I'm just adding a little quarter squat in there. Down, up a quarter, down a quarter, all the way up. So that's a quarter squat, 1 1/4 squat, a pause squat, or just a regular bodyweight squat. So give those a try. The next exercise I'm going to show you is for your glutes. So the glutes are the biggest, they're the strongest muscles in the body, and they're what makes your hips do this. This is what we call hip extension. Driving your hips forward, hip extension. So that's what these glutes do. So we don't really use the glutes a lot when we are sitting all the time. And so we get kind of in the, what we call in the fitness industry, gluteal amnesia. Just means they don't really turn on like they should. Okay, so this is the glute bridge, and this is gonna help get rid of that. So all I'm gonna do is put my feet flat on the ground, arms down to the side, palms up. I'm gonna push my heels down into the ground, and I'm gonna squeeze my glutes together, lifting my hips up towards the ceiling. And then I come back down and up, down and up. Now I'm not rolling my spine like you see in some forms of exercise, they'll roll the spine. My whole torso and everything is all coming up as one, and then back down. Now if you feel your hamstrings in this, okay, if you feel them start to cramp, that's a good indicator that your glutes definitely are not firing the way we want them to fire, because the hamstrings also do that hip extension I was talking about, but they're really, really bad at it. They're only there to help out, but if our glutes aren't working that much, our hamstrings try to take over for our glutes, and so they're not good at it, like I said, so they start to cramp. So you really want to focus on taking your heels and pushing them down, and just come up and down. Up and down. So here with the glute bridge, you can do like 10 to 15 of them. If you want to make it a little harder, you can pause for a couple seconds at the top, and then back down. And now at the top, I can take my thumbs, and I'm just hitting my glute muscle right here, and I can feel that my glute muscle is tight. Okay, if you hit there and you don't feel that it's tight, that's a good indicator that you're most likely probably using your hamstrings. Okay, up and down. 10 to 15 of those. The squats, 8 to 12 of those. You can maybe go to 15, okay, but if you can go to 15, add in like the pause squats and stuff like that. Start to progress the type of squat you're doing. That's it for the lower body strength. Tune in for the next video. We're gonna go through 3 essential warm-up exercises that I feel every disc golfer should do before each round, okay? Check out discgolfstrong.com, and also check out discgolfanswerman.com for articles and videos related to disc golf and disc golf fitness. Have a great day, everyone, and go play disc golf strong.